amazing.
I don't mind spanking the movement. I don't even mind spanking myself once in a while when I'm wrong. It's better than Yahweh. If we judge ourselves, we shall not be judged. If I didn't get this garbage out of my life, out of my attitude, Yahweh is going to judge me for it.
That's for sure.
So it's better that we judge ourselves than be judged. Now, am I telling you to go back to the church? No, I'm not telling you. I'm telling you to do what the church does, and we don't. I'm not telling you to go there. I'm telling you to learn from that. My daughter is being saved from death, hell, and destruction because somebody, 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't in the age of the dinosaurs. It was 20, 30 years ago, cared enough about girls on the street and girls who were making wrong decisions. Not bad girls. There's no such thing as good girls and bad girls, or good boys and bad boys. There's such a thing as boys who make bad decisions and boys who make good decisions in life. And where we are today is a result of the decisions we made then, and where we'll be tomorrow is a result of the decisions we're making today. Where you wind up tomorrow is the result of the decisions you're making today. And where you are today is a result of the decisions you made yesterday. No way. We have proven that everybody, Yehudim, Greeks, Arameans, Romans 3:10, 3:9 are all under sin. Verse 10, as it is written, there is not one tzaddik, no, not one. Not one. What about all the folks who got the calendar down? Not one. What about all the folks who wear tzitzit? Not one. What about all the folks who argue about what time Shabbat begins? Not one. What about all the folks who light candles and do the blessings and do the challah and yayin and manischewitz? They do everything right. They do everything the Jews do. They do everything. They make aliyah. They convert to Judaism. They're doing everything right. Yahweh says, sorry, nobody's righteous. You know why? Because those who do the Torah aren't righteous. Those who don't do the Torah aren't righteous. You all have different forms and emanations of rebellion. It's all sin. It's all rebellion. So what makes you think you're better than them? I don't know, because pride. I don't know. Arrogance, confusion, doubt, fear. I don't know. Inferiority complex, low self-esteem. Fill in the blank. We think we're better than them. Absolutely. I know I used to think that. But in the meantime, I'm not helping anybody. I'm not doing anything.
That's right.
We're just getting fat on our blessed assurance.
Uh-oh.
Trust me, I know about that. As it is written, there is not one tzaddik, nor not one. Look at verse 11. There is none that understands. There is none who seeks after Eloha. Now you know why the Nazarene movement wants to throw out Rav Shaul's letters? It says there is no Messianics that understands the heart of the Torah. There's no one in the church that really understands the heart of Yahweh. And there is no one in the church or in the synagogue or in any movement of man or any denomination that fully understands the purpose and heart and love of Yahweh for this sin-cursed world. Not only no one does Torah, no one understands Yahweh. Did you get that? Because I didn't get it. Meaning, we in the Nazarene movement, we don't understand. We behold through a mirror darkly. We see through a glass darkly. We are children, so we speak as children. But then we will see him and we will be known even as we are known. For when we grow up and when Yeshua returns, we will what? Put away childish things. Because now we know in part, we prophesy in part, we speak in part. But then, face to face. That means miracles and healings and all the gifts of the Spirit continue until his face returns. The Bible doesn't have a face. You can't say today miracles and healings and manifestations are over, because these things will cease when the face, when him that has a face shows up. The Bible doesn't have a face. It has a cover. That's good. I like it. Go ahead and sit there if you want. I'm happy. There is none who understands. There is none who seeks after Eloha. They, look at verse 12, Romans 3:12. They are all gone out of the halacha. Both. Those with Torah knowledge, those with no Torah knowledge. Those from the house of Yehudah, those from the nations. Yehudah, Ephraim. They are all away from the true halacha. They have become together worthless. There is none who does Tov, No, not one. Everyone in the church who is doing the best they can, and yet they are guilty of the sins of omission, are not fully pleasing to Yahweh. Right? Those in the Nazarene movement who are doing the Torah, who have Torah knowledge, we are guilty of the sin of what? Omission. Yahweh says, you got Torah faith? Do Matthew 25. We can't. We don't have any money. We can't buy a truck. We barely have enough gasoline to drive our children to the good Uber truck. You talk about buying trucks? It's pitiful. It's pitiful. So both houses really don't know the fullness of Yahweh's heart, the fullness of the message. Neither the church or the Torah keepers have it all right. We know, verse 19, look, Romans 3:19. We know. Turn to your neighbor and say, we know. Turn to your neighbor and say, you know. Turn to your neighbor and say, I know. Turn to your neighbor and say, he knows. Turn to your neighbor and say, she knows. We know, listen, that whatever the Torah says, it says to those who are living by the Torah. In other words, the Torah is not saying nothing to the church. You know why? Because you're not living by the Torah. So what is the Torah going to say to the church? They've got to rely on the inner ticker. Do good, feed, shelter, forgive, do good, build up, admonish, exhort, do nursing homes, hospitals, hospices, drugs, treatment centers, alcohol, rehab. So what the Torah says, it says to those who are living by the Torah, that's us, that every mouth, look at verse 19, every mouth in the church and every mouth to those who are living by the Torah. This is not talking about the church. This is talking about those who have the knowledge of Torah, Shabbat, Moadim, Sukkot, Tzitzit. The Torah speaks to us like the inward Torah speaks to them, but when they disobey the inward Torah and we disobey the written Torah, every mouth is guilty. What a beautiful system Yahweh has designed. There's no respecter of persons. Romans 2:11. There is no respecter of persons with Yahweh. Romans 2:11. Every mouth. Amazing grace. Every mouth. La 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 la. Every mouth. Every mouth. Baruch Yahweh Hamvorah. Every mouth. You see the way Yahweh set this thing up? So that righteousness is not done by Torah keeping or by Torah knowledge. Because no one is without sin. Those who know the Torah, us, ain't doing it. Which is why we send people to the church to pay the FP&L bill. And those who don't have the Torah are certainly not doing the Torah. Every mouth is stopped and every being is guilty. I'll say that again. Every mouth has been stopped and every being is guilty before Yahweh. So in other words, the church is not the answer. We're not the answer. The Nazarene Israelite movement is not the answer. What is the answer? Love Yeshua, study, know the Torah, so you can build our first hospice center. So you could build the first Nazarene Israelite Memorial Hospital. Have the knowledge, obey Sukkot, obey Mitzvot, obey Shabbat, obey Moadim, so that you can help others and find. You should see other hurting people, you and I, should see other hurting people as opportunities to do the Torah. Because those of us who live by the Torah speaks to us. Those in the church, Torah doesn't speak to them. So what speaks to them? That inbred Torah that either accuses them or excuses their behavior.